Okay, awesome, awesome. All right, well, welcome everyone. I'm so excited about our team call tonight. So I invited Kayla. I asked Kayla Ibanyez to come speak to us. I did her 5-day Stop the Hey Girl challenge. So, and it was all about not sending those cold messages through Instagram and even in Facebook, but in Instagram. And I've been learning more and more about Instagram, and I loved the content that she offered to us, and she continues to offer us in her group. So it's something that we have been trying to learn a lot about as a team, and I asked if she'd come share tonight with us. So I'm really thankful to have you here. If you wouldn't mind maybe just sharing a little about yourself, and then if you guys want to write, is it okay if they just put questions in the chat, so after you're done you could answer questions?
Sure. Yeah.
But
I'll do my training topics, and then we can definitely ask questions after. But I guess a little bit about me is my background started in freelance marketing for some Disney stars. So I don't know if there's any millennials that are like late 20s, you'll probably remember High School Musical. So I did a lot with that back in the day. So that's kind of like a fun fact. I know it's been a long time ago now. A lot of people don't know what it is. I'm like, crap, I'm getting old. But
I just had to watch all those with my daughters. My oldest two were like, Mom, and I never watched them when they first came out, and then I became the cool one.
Mine are almost old enough to be excited about it. So I do look forward to that day. But that's my marketing background. And then I got involved in network marketing in 2011. And I love the format. I love everything about it. I love Beachbody. And I still go to all the events, do all the things. But marketing and social media has really just been my thing as far back as 2005. So while my daughter's been in the hospital receiving treatment for bone marrow and immune system failure, which is where I currently am, in the T-double doors between her isolation room, I started my business of helping other people on my own as far as with Instagram. So I started it last year, and things have been friggin' awesome, to say the least. I love everyone I work with. All my clients are friggin' amazing. And I just love Instagram and the potential to really put you in front of the people who you can help best without having to pay for advertising or boosting posts or any of that. But of course, one of my favorite things is to get beyond behavioral messages, because no matter how long you've been in this business, we've all done it. And you might occasionally get a success, but most of the time it's not successful, and we get ghosted. And I think sometimes we burn some bridges in relationships. Whereas if we just took a few more steps to really show our authenticity and that we mean well, because we do, I think that we can make such a difference in our messaging, and therefore in improving our businesses, because that's of course the goal. We love helping people, but we're in businesses to make money, and we have crazy goals. So let me share my screen. Yeah, I mean, I do this all the time too, and I'm still like, where are the buttons? All right. Awesome. So I'm going to talk a little bit about how to create a magnetic Instagram that sells. So we're going to do some big topics, and I was talking to Kelly about the things that people have questions about, and then of course the things that I get asked a lot on Instagram. So there we go. Hide the video panel so that we can see everything. So the biggest thing about how to create a magnetic Instagram is that first impression, and that is your bio. The bio is something that is so powerful because people give it 2 seconds and they decide whether they're in or out. And especially now with the new update that's rolling out, that's making the bio even smaller. Some of you might have it. It's a very slow rollout, so I wouldn't be surprised if you didn't. But they're really making it so that people can only read the first line of your bio, and then they have to click a more button to see the rest, which people are lazy and they have squirrel brains, so they're rarely going to click that button. So you have a very small opportunity to make a huge impression with that bio. And ultimately, with the bio, your audience wants to know what's in it for them, why your customers need you, what problem do you solve, what do you want to be known for? And of course, when you're clear on this, you're clear in your messaging, and you attract the people that you want to work best. So I know a few years ago, the trend with the bio was to put the cute little emojis with the attributes about, I'm a mom of 3 kids and I love Starbucks and makeup and puppies and all that, but people are very choosy about who they follow now. So this is definitely not a strategy that you want to skimp out on. This is something that when you are very strategic in what you do, it helps position you as an authority and separates you from others in the same industry. So again, some of those main points is leaving out the personal attributes. If it's a big part of you, a big part of your brand and your business, I would definitely just make highlights for them and showcase some of the things that are really important to you. Of course, I wouldn't say that you're a Beachbody coach. One of the main reasons would be, for one, let's say someone had a previous bad experience with someone, and now as a result, they write you off and don't even give you a chance. And then, of course, another reason is I believe that in network marketing, the best thing that you can do is lead with you being the personal brand and the products support you, not the other way around. I think we often hide behind the products because we're afraid of putting ourselves out there. So if that's you, I can definitely relate, but definitely taking those baby steps each day to be the leader in your business is going to make such a huge difference for you, especially if you utilize social media as your main vehicle to reach people. So as far as what to put in the bio, there are two things you want to have: a mission statement and a call to action for your link. I would leave anything else out, any, those team names, anything that's kind of fluffy. This is definitely not the place for it. We want to be clear and concise. So an example of a mission statement here. So I help millennial women lose their post-college 15 pounds. So it's very specific about what it is you do. So this is kind of something that you work on and you refine over time. So again, don't feel pressure that you have to come up with this perfect statement right now. It's definitely something you take step by step. And then of course, a call to action for your link, and not just any call to action. You want to tell your audience exactly what is in it for them if they click the link. So click this link to get my top 5 clean eating tips. Click this link to lose the post-college 15 pounds. So something like that that tells them exactly what is in it for them. So just an example of some really freaking powerful bios that I love. So we have Evelyn here. She's very specific about what she does. So she helps female entrepreneurs transform their body so that they can show up confident online. So what does she do? And what is the result that they want that she helps achieve so that they can show up confident online? And then her call to action: ready to build your dream physique and grow your business. Click there. And I think she's actually definitely updated it since then, and it's gotten even better since I made this presentation. And then Megan, I love hers as well. She updates hers all the time as well, because as your business evolves and you evolve, you will change some things in here. So if you look at her account now, it'll definitely be a little bit different. But I help online coaches find ideal one-on-one clients they love and create passive income so that they can travel and live fully. So what does she do? She helps online coaches find one-on-one clients they love. And what do they want? They want passive income so that they can travel and live fully. And then highlights. I get asked a lot about highlights, but honestly, this is something that I would write down and put on the back burner till you're confident in a lot of other things, because this is not something to lose sleep over. But as a whole, for your highlight covers, as far as making your Instagram visually attractive and magnetic, you want to use icons rather than text in the covers. And you can make these super easily in Canva, or if you want something maybe a little bit more intricate, like the one on the top left, you can have a graphic designer make them for you. But I definitely recommend just avoiding shapes like stripes or any of that, because again, it is kind of hard to read. And even though I know a lot of us are on computer screens, but think about some people that have teeny tiny phones. They cannot read this text. And then on the bottom right, just as an example, there's text inside, but then the text below. So it's unnecessarily repetitive. And again, the small text is pretty hard to read. And then as far as highlights, categories, I definitely recommend having things like client love for maybe when you get a shout out or someone talks about how awesome you are, and then results to show people talking about the results that you have helped them achieve. So results would maybe be something with a little bit more of metrics. So like for me, when someone talks about how they gained X number of followers or made X number of dollars, that would go in results. And then my general testimonials usually go in client love. So I love that because it's also great to refer people to if someone's like, okay, well, do you have a track record? Well, absolutely, yes, I do. And this is what it is. Go ahead, go here and look. So then my favorite topic here, so why we're all here, is to stop the behavioral messages. So what is a hey girl message? My views on it is a hey girl message is when you are trying to go from the know you phase to the trusting you phase in one swift DM. And there's a huge, huge disconnect, which is why you're often, ghosted. People read it and move on, and they don't jump generally at what you're inviting them to do. And that is because we're missing the most important phase, in my opinion, and that is the liking you phase. Sometimes it takes some time for people to really like you. They might, again, have that really awesome initial first impression, but the warming up to you happens in the liking you phase. And your DMs really have to fit in with where your prospects are in these phases. So again, the knowing you phase, maybe they've come across you a little bit in hashtags. Maybe they know of you because someone else is talking to you, but they're probably not following you yet. And if they are, they're maybe not actively liking and engaging on your stuff. And then that like you phase, this is where people really do have to hang out. And this is where you're nurturing them. This is where you're adding value. This is where you're asking them, hey, what content can I create for you? Well before you're inviting them to anything that you're doing. I think that's a common misconception is even though what we're inviting them to can help them, we're in that invitation process, we're still asking them to do something for us. So I think we have to add a crap ton of value and really show them what we can do long before we invite them to anything that we're doing. And I understand as a society, we want things now, coming from a self-proclaimed most impatient person in the world. I definitely understand that, but I know you guys have heard this as well from corporate trainings, is really about planting seeds. And that's definitely true for this, and it's definitely true for Instagram as well. And then the trusting you phase, when they get to this ever so coveted phase, they're ready to make an investment with you. They like you, they trust you, they're ready to roll. They're not going to give you the price objections. They believe you have the answers and they're just going for it. And again, yes, it does take some time to get here, but once you really add enough value to them and nurture them enough, they are here. So that is why we're going to kind of dissect a hey girl message here and kind of talk about how we can change it. This is one I actually got the other day. And just to kind of look at this a little bit. Oh, go back. There we go. So first we've got, hey girly, again, how can we make this better? Take some time to go to their page and learn their name before you message anyone for anything. I think that's one of the easiest things you can do that really takes no time. The next thing that she talks about here is, I saw you liked my last story about the coaching opportunity. That's another misconception. Liking something doesn't necessarily equate to interest. So you can definitely message people that have liked your stuff, but I would definitely steer clear from assuming interest based on that, because that language is very common in being assumed to be a sale, which is generally what these messages are. So thank you for the support. I'm not sure if you were just showing support or if you'd like some more info. I never want to assume. So again, there was an assumption made earlier. Now it's almost like a form of recovery, giving a way out. But it's, again, not really showing that you want to get to know me or that you want to add value to my life in any way. So I thought I'd shoot you a message and thank you for the love and support and see if you'd like to join. So how we can make this better again is she could have asked questions about me. She could have made a comment about something on my page that showed that she took the time to kind of scroll and look. And then of course, how she ended this message. See if you'd like to join. So again, she sent it to me, so clearly I liked something. So again, I'm probably not going to remember what I liked because Instagram is a very passive medium. So oftentimes you really have to spell out for people what you're talking about because they like so many things they definitely will not remember. So what does she want me to join? What is she asking me? Is it a statement? There's not really a question or a way for me to respond to a message like this. It's kind of just out there. And I think I did voice memo her back. And this is what I do, honestly, when I get these messages, is I say, thanks for reaching out, and tell people a little bit about what I do. And oftentimes people don't say anything, which is to be expected. But with this type of messaging, how you can make it better is to recap, use their name, show that you took the time to look at their profile. Don't assume an interest based on a like. And instead of asking them to join, say something like, hey, I'm working on content about this and this. What is something that you'd love to learn about this? Or what would be something that would help you out? So instead of asking, what can I do for them? She could have asked, what can she do for me? And I would have been, oh, you're working on creating something about this? I would love to give my opinion about what I need help with in regards to clean eating or a passive income opportunity. So there's just so many things that you can do instead of sending something with a format like this. So how can we change our messaging and bring our audience from the know phase through the like phase and onto the trust phase with integrity? I'll tell you one of my favorite ways to do it. And that is starting with an Instagram story and doing a pitch on there. I'm glad this is being recorded because I do move a little bit quickly through this. But definitely, this is something you can easily replicate, take on in your own language and make your own. But there's just some important points that, especially when you're talking about what you're offering on IG stories, I really wanted to touch on because I see this a lot and there's just so many little things that you can change that will really have an impact on whether you get one person interested up to 10 people interested. So really it is the hook. When you're talking to Instagram stories, you really got to hook your audience in. You have to make them want to continue on rather than swiping on to the next story. So as an example of that, are you tired of getting home from work with no energy to accomplish anything, so you lay in bed until it's time to go to sleep? People can really see themselves in that type of situation where you're touching on a pain point. And the people that do this, that get home and have no energy and do nothing, they're like, oh crap, she gets it. And now they're paying attention. But just in case they're not, you can do another story that says, if this is you, listen up. Or something that, of course, sounds like something that you would say. Then again, we're going back to the pain points. This is something that is so important. Rather than focusing on the features and benefits of the product, what they're getting in a challenge pack, talking about the group, or showing other people's transformation photos, think about your people. What really hurts and what do they need help with? So as the example here, I know you're sick of time passing by and you don't have what you'd like to show for it. Your friends are all doing things that bring them joy, but you're just going through the motions day to day. You're stuck. So you're painting that picture for them. You're not talking about Shakeology. You're not talking about the Transform 20 step. You're talking about something that's really bothering them. So now you're really gaining their attention. And then of course, relate, because chances are the people that you want to work with, you've been in their shoes. So trust me, I get it. I've been there. You always want to show your human side and relate it back to that you understand what they're going through and that it's totally normal. And then share your offer. This is why I created your challenge group, your coaching sneak peek, whatever it is that relates to what they're struggling with. This is what's hurting. This is a solution I created that's going to help you with that. And then you want to, some people are already going to be excited to check out what you're doing by this point. So at this point, you want to say where they can go to sign up, apply, to get more information. And you have to tell them exactly where you want them to go. So go ahead right now to the link in my bio to apply. You want to use words to kind of build that urgency, like go right now, click the link right now, to really show the people that are ready to swipe out of your story and go click it. Some people still want to continue on. So you want to tell them why they need it. You can also really paint the picture here. I know that this will help you take the time for yourself so that you can get more sleep. You can stop hitting the snooze button 3 times and you can actually get up, get ready, and get to work on time. So really tell them and reiterate why they need what you're doing. Again, we're not showing product photos. We're not talking about the features and benefits. We're talking about what you uniquely provide through your group or whatever it is you're doing, a sneak peek, why they need you. And then you want to paint the picture of what they're going to get. Again, we're not showing the shapes, we're not showing the steps, we're not talking about 20-minute workouts. We're talking about what they'll experience. So while they go through this with you, you will experience confidence for the first time and finally be able to have the energy to wake up at that first alarm because now you're taking the time that you owe yourself. Again, make it apply, make it sound like you, but relate it to why they need what you're doing. And then I think it's really important to touch on the fear of complacency, because at this point, your audience, they're really thinking, I could do this, or I could stay the same. Maybe it doesn't hurt enough yet. Very possible. This is probably, other than telling them where to go to apply, this is probably one of the most important ones, is to talk about why they want to avoid being in the same place, the same painful, the same uncomfortable place that they are now. So you can avoid being in the same place that you are right now, hitting snooze 4 times and being late for work, still being exhausted, still coming home with no energy to accomplish all the things that are on your to-do list. And this is where you can kind of show a transformation. Talk about how it's changed your life, how it's changed the lives of the other people that you've worked with. But again, no product features and benefits. Don't pose with your shake. Don't pose with your step. We're really talking about you here and what you're doing. And again, I love this one. Really want to paint the picture and relate it to their pain points and how this transformation will change their lives. So you will be able to run up your apartment stairs without feeling winded. A statement like that, those that get winded running up the stairs, they're like, ooh, that hurts. Yes, I hate that. I hate that feeling, and I want to get away from that feeling. So that would be the end of how you would pitch. And then from there, I would put a poll at the end to get votes from people who maybe are too busy to go and fill out the link in your bio, or who maybe are more silent followers. And the people that vote in this poll at the end are really giving you permission to reach out. That's why we're getting away from cold messages. We're warming up now. They know what you're doing. They're getting comfortable. So a great poll option with 2 yes answers. Don't throw a no in there, because we can't do anything with those no's, so it's not helping us. So I love to say something like, if you're struggling with this, or if this sounds like you, vote in my poll, because I'm curious if anyone else feels this way. Some other things that are important about these polls is, again, those 2 yes options. You always want to keep your polls on your stories centered, not too far to the left or to the right, because when people try to vote, if it's too far over or too small, it's difficult. And if they can't easily vote by tapping once, they're going to scroll on to the next story, and you're not going to get their expressed interest. And then again, relate it to the pain points. Write out the text exactly what you want to know their feelings about. And again, be verbal. Spell it out for them that you want them to vote in this poll. I love doing polls when you're really talking. You can do a text one as well. But again, I would talk on the one prior and say, vote in this poll on the next page. Tell me what you're feeling. And underlining keywords is always fun, just to really drive the point home. You can add any kind of fun visual to this. If you want to add a GIF or some stars flashing, anything to really kind of make it fun and, of course, authentic to you. And then from there, you're going to message everyone that votes in these polls. And instead of just inviting them, here's the key, guys. I really want you to focus on this. You're not inviting from this. You're messaging them and telling them that you want to learn more about what they're telling you is bothering them. And here's the main reason for that. Not just to invite them, but they're going to talk about what's bothering them, and you can take their direct quotes and turn it into content for your Instagram. Arguably, I would say that's more important than getting the person that you're speaking to buy. Because as you create content, it's going to be speaking to the masses that also need you, because someone gave you an awesome quote just from having a nice conversation. And this is how you get people to really be in that like phase and get closer to trust, because you're creating content that's helping them, you're creating content that's serving them, and you're not just looking for a quick buck, and they know that. They know that you want to serve them, which of course is what we know you want to do, but sometimes it gets lost in the shuffle when we're going for goals and Success Club and qualifying for trips. But if you're consistently doing this every week and starting conversations this way, maybe you won't get all these people in the month of February, but if you keep it up, you will in March, because you're planting the seeds now. And that's why this is way more effective than any hey girl cold message and sending hundreds of those. You can do this in a fraction of the time and have a way higher success rate with it. So again, this is kind of, if you like a visual of what I was just saying, so DM from the poll. I know it's really hard to read it in the phone, so I'll read it. This is exactly what I said to someone. Thank you, I'm so glad this resonates with you. Anything else with business or using IG that you've been stuck on or do you want more info on? I'm working on creating content for the rest of the week. And so she gave me a good paragraph of ideas, but then at the end, she thanked me for asking her. It didn't try to sell her on anything that I'm doing. I asked her how I can add more value to her life. And that's the difference. We're not going straight to the invite. We're not going straight to the close. We're creating content so that we can get in front of more people. And then as a result, people will be coming to you and asking you to work with you. But you've got to be doing it consistently this way. And again, it doesn't take you that much time. You do 2 of these direct Instagram stories invitations a week. Let's say do 2, where it's very direct. This is what I'm doing. And you DM, even if you get 4 votes and you DM those people and you get conversations going, you can get to a point where they tell you something that is really bothering them and you know you can help them fix. Write this down as well. Here's an awesome transition that you can use to take it from market research to an invite. You can say, I can coach you on that. I can coach you on that. And see, engage their reaction. They might say, oh, really? Yeah, is it okay if I tell you about what I'm doing? Again, you've been adding value. You've been learning about them. Now you're inviting to where it fits. And from these messages, you might even find that this person is not a fit for you. And that's very, very common as well. And being comfortable with that. Because you're going to get a lot of good conversations starting this way. I'm talking full inbox. So I want to tell you guys about something that I am doing. If you like my style, if you like what I'm talking about, I do one-on-one Instagram strategy audits. So if you are lacking engagement, you send DMs and get crickets, you want to talk more about your business, and you want to figure out who your audience is and how you're niching down, I would love to work with you on a one-on-one basis. So this is what I have going on. So I am running a special. I'm officially relaunching to all of my Instagram on the 15th, and the price will go up at that point. But again, for the sake of transparency, this is my current pricing that I am honoring until that point. So if you want to chat more, just send me a DM and we can see if it's a good fit for you. So now I want to open it up to questions. Let me open the chat box here. I'm getting better at clicking around. Let me scroll up, maybe. Come on. No. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to figure out how to scroll up on this chat box. No, that's moving the chat box. That's not scrolling the chat box.
Let me see if I can read some of them if you want.
Okay, because I'm like, why is it not scrolling?
Hang on, let me. Okay. Oh, they're asking, do you recommend for the link in your bio using Linktree?
Linktree, I think, is great if you're not hardcore promoting something. Like if you're in between groups, it's nice to have a few of your links to be able to show people. But if you are sending people to a Google form or an application and you're like hardcore going for invites, I would definitely just do a link directly to what you're doing. Because again, people get scroll brain, they get lazy. If you give them too many choices, oftentimes they're going to get distracted. So Linktree is good in the interim, but when you're really going hard for something, direct link is best.
So just, okay, I see what you're saying. So instead of a link that gives you a bunch of options, just a straight link to the form.
Yeah, and I would never do your Beachbody website in your link ever, because again, you want to have a really good relationship with someone going before you ever send them a link or a share a cart. So I would create a Google form or a Survey Monkey or anything where you can learn more about people before you get to the invite process, because I think it's imperative to know about them and what they're looking for and what they want before you pitch the appropriate thing that's going to work best for them.
Got it.
Yeah, you can do a Facebook group link. I was doing that to my community for a while. yeah, an application, a place to, like a landing page to collect emails, to opt into something, anything like that would work.
Okay. And then how often do you sell in stories?
Direct, like in the way I just did, I would do it 2 times a week.
Yeah, okay. Is that what
To
you meant?
always be talking and sending someone to something. You can, there's also, you know, soft invites where you're just like casually mentioning, like, oh, by the way, I'm doing this. If you want to learn more, message me. You can do those like in between, but for a sequence like this, where you're very directly telling someone to go and work with you, 2 times a week.
Okay, cool. Now, are you going to have another academy too, like in coming up?
Yes. So my signature group coaching program. So if you're someone that wants to go through types of trainings like this over a course of 8 weeks, where we really build foundation and kind of work in like a mastermind setting, I am opening up enrollment for that in March, and it'll be starting in April.
Okay, awesome.
So how that differs from a one-on-one is where we're strictly talking about you and your business and giving you a growth and engagement plan in a report form that you can use to start implementing things immediately.
Okay.
So they are different. It kind of depends on how you like to go through things.
Yeah. Did you see the question now? Does it?
Yes. Is it too much to show your workout food every day? I, again, would think about who you help and what you help people with. If you are strictly a fitness and nutrition, then I think it's great to focus a good chunk on that. If you help people, maybe you help people more with mindset, then I would do more of that and just kind of sprinkle in the workouts and the food. But I don't feel like you have to record your workouts every day or anything if that's not what you're specifically helping people do, if that makes sense. Oh yeah, and stories definitely mix pictures and videos. I think utilizing all of Instagram's features can only help you out in the algorithm. So selfies, pictures of things around you, talking videos, videos of things around you, text sequences. The most important thing I would say is to get in the habit of doing 2 polls a day, not just business related, even anything like, do you still have your Christmas tree up? Is it snowing where you are? Anything that's general and fun, people love voting on. So I would get used to doing those in your stories pretty regularly.
And when you do the I've actually, one of the things you taught in Hey Girl Academy I thought was good is trying to do polls like that. It's been a fun way to start conversations with people about, like, I just did one with a bunch of people that have crazy 3-year-olds. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, just
Exactly.
I never thought about doing that before, and that's been really, I've seen my poll engagement go up since.
Mm-hmm. And if you're not getting votes in your polls now, I would play with different topics, for 1, and 2, keep consistent with them, because I think you have to get people used to voting in your polls. I don't think it's something that just happens. I think it kind of builds up where it just becomes part of their routine. When they get to your stuff, they know there's most likely going to be a poll, if that makes sense.
Got it. Awesome.
How can you boost how many people see your stories? Again, it's consistency. I would say if you get 10% of your Instagram following viewing your stories, then that's a good amount. I would consider that being successful. Some of my tips for getting higher views than that are, again, being consistent with the types of things you post. Just as an example, as a whole, people can anticipate seeing a sequence from me of a few stories of an Instagram/business tip. So they know it's coming. It's usually in the evening, and they can expect that from me. So they come knowing what to expect. They know they're going to see my day in the hospital with my daughter. They know they're probably going to get an update on her medical care. So I'm pretty predictable in what I'm posting, so people know what they're going to see from you. And that's the biggest way to get your story views to go up. And then your go-to tip for building up followers. First things first is you have to have good content. I know we all think we have good content, but this is my way of how you can gauge how good your content is. If you have insights on a business profile, look at how many saves and shares you get. If you get any of those, even if it's 1, it's a good post. If you're not getting any, then I would take a look at how your post can add more value and teach something. And this is why, again, that market research we were just talking about, asking people what they want to see, literally take that quote and turn it into a post. Because so many people can relate to that. They're way more likely to share. They're way more likely to save it.
I love that. Do you think there's value over having a personal versus a business profile? Because I've heard both, and
Yeah, it's a loaded answer. So here we go. If you have ever been on a business profile, even if you just tried it for 2 seconds, there's no point in going back to personal because Instagram recognizes you as a business at that point. So no point. With that being said, if you are personal, I have not noticed a difference in engagement in personal versus business on the accounts I've tested. It's so tiny. I don't think it's worth even reporting, and that could always change, but that's how it is right now. So if you have over 1,000 followers, I would switch to a business profile.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, that's one question I was like always wondering, because I had one and then the other, and then it's like trying to figure it out.
Yeah, with a business profile, I won't share to my Facebook account, and here's my thing, I wouldn't get too gung-ho on sharing your Instagram posts to Facebook because, again, I think it's different styles, and I think it can be a bit repetitive. So I would definitely take maybe the same content, but I would reword it and make it work better for Facebook and then post it over. Would it be to start with a new IG? I would not. I would stick with the account you have. If you hate your posts, you can archive them so they don't show up if there's some previous posts you don't like. But I'm all about just learning and growing and evolving. I mean, if you scroll back far enough on mine, I have some pretty horrendous things. The things that I say, don't do now, like posing with your stage like this. All the time. And I love laughing at myself because I love using myself as an example to rip on. So honestly, if you don't like it, hide it. Otherwise, we move on, continue forward, because no one's scrolling that far. We're only doing that to ourselves.
Yeah. No, right. No, this is so good. Oh my goodness. Y'all have any other questions? Thank you so much. And she has your community online,
Yes. If you search on Facebook, Stop the Hey Girl, it should come up. The long name is Stop the Hey Girl NWM Community. Maybe I'll shorten it at some point, but it works for now.
No, but it's so good. You literally, I mean, you practice what you teach. Like you give.
Oh, absolutely. Everything I talk about. Yeah.
And so, I mean, you gave us so much value tonight. And even in that group, I've learned, and I'll have to admit, like, I tend to want to do it all quickly, and I'm learning that that's not how this goes. And so I'm literally like, I'm still navigating the bio. Like I've been, trying to, but she gave great feedback even in that 5-day challenge. And I really appreciate you coming, because I think sometimes even with Instagram, it's that fear of doing it wrong. So we don't do it wrong enough to get it right. You know what I mean? Like, so thank you.
Definitely. And 2 more points I wanted to add. Some of your guys' questions I think can also be answered. I have a free guide that I made of like I call it my 7-day Instagram boot camp. 7 days of different tips and things that you can change on your profile to really make a massive change. The link's in my bio and it gets emailed to you. And it's really pretty. You can save it on your phone. It's very visually pleasing. My friend made it for me. So I think that is very useful because I talk about hashtags in there. And then also I wanted to say, I know we get caught up in our following amount and the number of followers. I mean, I'm still pushing for 5K, let's be honest. But I will say this, I have worked with people one-on-one who have less than 1,000 followers and make 6 figures. And I also have worked with people with over 50,000 followers and make nothing. So I don't want you to get so caught up in the number of followers and equating that to where you could be or should be. It's really about, of course, the quality of your followers, that they fit your niche and that they're into that trust phase with you. You only need a few.
No, that's so true. Like I was doing like STEM for a while to grow because I didn't know, and now I'm like, now I need to actually go through and like clean out who I'm following, who they follow, you know what I mean? And
definitely, don't follow people who you don't genuinely like what they're putting out. So
No, this was so good. Thank you so much. And I'm looking forward to, like I said, the academy and learning more. And I hope you guys definitely check out her information. It's so good. I mean, literally, so good. Thank you. Really, really
Absolutely.
appreciate the time to be here. And we usually close our call in prayer. If you don't mind, I'd love to pray for your daughter.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Her name is Teresa, right? Is that right?
Teresa, yes.
Okay, let's pray. Heavenly Father, I'm just so thankful for Kayla taking the time to pour into us tonight, Lord, and teaching us how to serve others and really give value, to treat people like people, and to really provide for their needs. And I just pray for her ministry and her business as she grows as a person of influence in social media. And I pray for her daughter Teresa and her healing, and for Kayla's whole family during this season. And I'm just so grateful for this time tonight, God. And I just ask that you would help us to really use what we've learned to really help bring freedom into the lives of others. And we offer all these things in your most holy name. Amen. Thank you so much for being here tonight. I really appreciate it. And thank you guys for hopping on.
Let's grab a picture for Instagram before we run. You're tiny, so don't worry. Yeah. Awesome.
Thank you so much,
girl. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you on the gram. Have a good one.
All right. Bye.